Lucky numbers. 6 numbers to win big and get rich on the 13th of August, 2025 Buddhist teachings. What if the numbers you see aren't just numbers? What if they're messages, quiet nudges from the universe, asking you to slow down, tune in, and realign your life not just toward success, but toward deeper purpose and peace? In today's fast-moving world, we chase wealth, status, and fast results. But what if the greatest luck doesn't come from the lottery, but from living in harmony with yourself, with others, and with the natural rhythm of life? In this video, we'll explore 6 powerful numbers that may appear lucky on the surface, but each one holds a deeper meaning, rooted in Buddhist wisdom, spiritual alignment, and the path to true abundance. So whether you're here for insight, inspiration, or maybe even a little guidance for the days ahead, especially August 13th, 2025, take a deep breath, settle in, and let's uncover what these numbers are really trying to tell you. Because in Buddhism, luck isn't something you wait for, it's something you cultivate, moment by mindful moment. 1. Number 44. The Foundation. Number 44. The foundation holds a quiet but profound power, reminding us that true abundance doesn't begin with more money or success, but with inner stability and a strong spiritual base. In numerology, the 44 is a symbol of enduring strength and unwavering resilience, like the deep roots of a centuries-old tree that stands firm through storms. Spiritually, this number invites us to build our lives with clarity and purpose, especially when the outer world feels chaotic or uncertain. It urges us to pause, reflect, and act with intention rather than impulse. The Buddhist teaching, "As rain falls equally on the just and the unjust, do not burden your heart with judgments, but build your foundation in compassion," reminds us that lasting wealth, whether material or emotional, is born from grounded presence, not frantic pursuit. In today's fast-paced life, where everything demands quick results and instant gratification, number 44 speaks to the power of slow, intentional growth. Just as a temple is built one stone at a time, so must our inner lives be constructed with care, patience, and clarity. When stress or fear starts to push you off balance, take a mindful pause and ask yourself gently, am I building from fear or from clarity? This simple question is not only grounding, it reconnects you to your deeper truth. As the Zen saying goes, let your steps be firm and slow, like the elephant's walk, reminding us that true wealth flows from stillness, not speed. Let this morning be your return to center, rooted in trust, built on calm intention, and aligned with a life of lasting meaning. 2. Number 28. The Quiet Builder. Number 28, the Quiet Builder, carries a special kind of energy that often goes unnoticed, but its impact is powerful and lasting. This number speaks to those of us who keep showing up every day, quietly working toward our goals without fanfare, trusting that progress is happening even if it's not obvious. It reminds you that real abundance is not just about sudden success, it's built slowly through consistency, patience, and deep emotional awareness. The number 2 in numerology reflects our ability to connect with others, to show empathy, and to stay balanced in our relationships. The number 8 brings in the energy of karma, flow, and long-term abundance, reminding us that what we give to the world eventually comes back to us, often multiplied. Spiritually, this number encourages you to trust the process and keep walking your path with emotional calm and quiet confidence. A great example is the story of Lisa, a small business owner in Ohio who learned about numerology during a tough season in her life. She resonated deeply with the number 28 and began shifting her focus from chasing results to nurturing connections with her clients, her team, and herself. Over time, without pushing or forcing, Her business grew in a steady and sustainable way, and she often says that embracing the quiet builder mindset saved both her peace of mind and her purpose. Have you ever taken a step back to reflect on how far you've come, even if no one else noticed? Sometimes the most important victories are the ones no one claps for, but they shape who we become. The Buddhist perspective reminds us that we do not grow alone. Healing and abundance often come through connection, and it's okay to reach out to supportive people around you. So, as you move into your morning, ask yourself, am I honoring the small steps that are building my life quietly but surely? The lesson today is simple yet powerful value. Emotional strength, build with quiet consistency, and never underestimate the power of steady progress. Abundance doesn't have to be loud. Often, the strongest foundation is the one built with care, patience, and meaningful connection. 3. Number 15. The gentle reminder. Number 15. What I like to call the gentle reminder carries a quiet but powerful energy, and if you're listening to this right now, it might be exactly what your spirit needs today. This number isn't loud or flashy. It's not here to push you into action or overwhelm you with to-do lists. Instead, it's a soft nudge, a whisper from the universe, gently asking you to slow down, take a breath, and come home to yourself. Have you been rushing lately, moving from one task to the next, without checking in with how you're really feeling inside? Number 15 invites you to pause, to listen, to return to the quiet place within you that often gets drowned out by the noise of daily life. From a spiritual perspective, this energy encourages mindful presence, not escaping your problems or avoiding responsibilities, but simply being with yourself, right here, right now. It asks you to stop running and instead to return to your center. And when we look at this number through the lens of numerology, we see a beautiful combination. The number 1 symbolizes independence, that strong inner spark that reminds you that you are whole and complete on your own. The number 5 brings emotional depth and personal reflection. It speaks to your inner world, your heart space, and your ability to grow through introspection. Now, when we blend this with the wisdom of Buddhism, we find a teaching that fits perfectly with the energy of number 15. The Buddha once said, "You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection." Let that sink in. When was the last time you offered yourself the same kindness and compassion you so freely give to others? This number, this gentle reminder, is here to tell you that self-care is not selfish, it is sacred. It's an act of honoring the life within you. So, as you begin your day, can you make space for stillness, even if it's just for a few minutes? Can you soften your inner voice and meet yourself with understanding instead of pressure? What would happen if you moved through today, not with force, but with flow, trusting that slowing down can actually lead to greater clarity, abundance, and peace? Remember, energy flows where attention goes. If you can begin your morning by turning your attention inward with gentleness, you open the door to a deeper kind of wealth, one that begins with inner peace and radiates outward into every area of your life. If you've watched up to this point, you're already aligning with the powerful energy of August 13th, 2025. These 6 lucky numbers are more than just digits. They're part of a deeper journey toward abundance and spiritual harmony. Comment below with "Lucky Path" to affirm your connection with this rare opportunity. Stay with us until the end. There's still more wisdom to uncover that could guide you to unexpected fortune and inner peace. 4. Number 11. The Awakener. Number 11. The Awakener carries a quiet yet powerful message that speaks directly to the heart of anyone on a journey of self-awareness, especially in a world where we are constantly pulled in many directions. This number is not simply a coincidence you see on the clock or your receipts. It is often seen as a spiritual mirror, gently asking you, are you truly here, right now, in this moment? In Buddhism, awakening is not some faraway goal or mystical event. It begins with the simple but profound act of inner observation, being still enough to notice the breath, the thoughts, the sensations without clinging or resisting. When we see 11:11, it serves as a sacred pause, a nudge from the universe or from your own deeper self to stop the autopilot and reconnect with presence. As the Buddha said, with our thoughts, we make the world. This reminds us that our internal awareness shapes our external experience. In astrology, the number is linked to Uranus, the planet of disruption and awakening, which reflects the way spiritual growth often comes through sudden shifts, those unexpected events that shake us and wake us up. Yet, in modern life, we often rush to control these changes, trying to manage every detail of our lives. The deeper truth is, we're not meant to control life, but to witness it deeply, to live with open eyes and a quiet heart. This is not passivity, it's clarity. And in that clarity, we discover something essential, that peace and abundance are not outside of us, waiting to be found, but within us, waiting to be seen. So next time you catch yourself glancing at 11:11 or feeling an internal nudge to pause, let it be a gateway, not into superstition, but into deeper presence. As Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh reminds us, the present moment is filled with joy and happiness. If you are attentive, you will see it. The more you train your awareness to recognize these moments, the more you align with the energy of abundance, not as something you chase, but as something you become. 5. Number 7. The Seeker. Let's talk about the number 7 not just as a digit, but as a doorway to something deeper. The number 7 is known as the Seeker, and it holds a quiet power in many spiritual traditions. It's a symbol of wisdom, reflection, and deep inner searching. In Buddhism, it mirrors the 7 steps to awakening, each step guiding us closer to clarity, compassion, and true understanding. In astrology, 7 connects with Neptune, the planet of dreams and intuition, which encourages us to look beyond the surface of things. So what does this mean for you? It's an invitation to slow down, disconnect from the noise, and turn your attention inward. Especially on August 13th, 2025, take a moment to pause. Let this be your morning ritual. Sit quietly, close your eyes, breathe deeply, and ask your heart, not your mind, what it truly wants. Don't rush for an answer. Let it rise like the morning sun, soft, steady, and sure. One of our followers, Sarah from Colorado, shared how she started tuning into the energy of the number 7. She had been struggling financially, always chasing more, but never feeling fulfilled. On a whim, she chose the number 7 as her focus number and began starting her mornings with a 7-minute meditation. Over time, not only did her anxiety reduce, but opportunities she hadn't seen before began to appear, one of which led her to a part-time job that turned into her full-time passion. She said, "Wealth came when I stopped chasing it and started listening to what really mattered to me." Now I ask you, what would happen if you gave yourself that kind of space? What truth might you hear in the silence of a mindful morning? You don't have to believe in luck or numerology to benefit from reflection. It's about creating a habit that helps you reconnect with your values, your peace, and your purpose. So tomorrow, before the world rushes in, give yourself the gift of stillness. Let number 7 guide you not to riches outside, but to the abundance within. Remember this, true wealth isn't always what you earn, it's what you learn and how you grow from it. 6. Number 5. The wake-up call. Number 5 is what I like to call the wake-up call, and no, I don't mean the sound of your alarm clock. I'm talking about those moments in life that shake us out of autopilot, that jolt us from our comfort zones and ask us to look again at the path we're walking. Maybe you've felt it recently, that nudge in your chest, a sense that things can't stay the same. This is not something to fear. It's a sacred signal. Think of it as life whispering to you, you are meant for more. In the realm of spirituality, this kind of wake-up call is an invitation to confront the beliefs that keep you small, to step beyond hesitation, and to let go of the false safety of your old routines. Ask yourself, what belief have I outgrown, yet still cling to? True abundance can only flow when we open the blocked channels in our lives, mental, emotional, and energetic. Astrologically, this vibration is linked to Mercury, the planet of communication and movement, which teaches us that momentum is magic. It's not always about knowing the whole plan, but about trusting the next step. As the Buddha said, there is no path to happiness. Happiness is the path. And happiness begins when you stop resisting change and start flowing with it. Even discomfort is a signpost. It's the edge of your current self calling out for growth. From a Buddhist view, impermanence is not something to dread, it's something to embrace. Everything changes, and that's exactly what allows us to grow into something new, more awake, more compassionate, more aligned with our purpose. So, let me ask you, where in your life are you being called to wake up? What truth have you been avoiding that's actually the key to your next level of abundance? Pause with that thought. Let it settle. Because sometimes it's in the silence after the question where your deepest answers are waiting. The wake-up call isn't punishment, it's opportunity. And when you answer it with courage, life meets you with blessings you never expected. Now that you've discovered the 6 lucky numbers for August 13th, 2025, remember, true wealth in Buddhism goes beyond fortune. It's built on generosity, humility, and mindfulness. If you believe real abundance comes from both outer luck and inner virtue, comment below with "true wealth" to show your commitment to walking this balanced path. Stay with us as we explore how these timeless qualities can lead to lasting happiness and prosperity. The qualities that lead to true wealth in Buddhism: generosity, humility, and mindfulness. In a world that often measures success by how much we have, Buddhism invites us to look deeper beyond material wealth, beyond status, beyond the constant race to achieve more. What if true richness isn't about what we hold in our hands, but what we carry in our hearts? Now, we'll explore 3 timeless Buddhist virtues that can lead to a life of genuine abundance: generosity, humility, and mindfulness. These aren't just spiritual ideals, they're powerful, practical tools that can transform the way we live, the way we connect with others, and the way we find peace in the chaos. So, take a deep breath, and let's walk this path of wisdom together. Number 1. Generosity, dana. In the Buddha's path to true wealth, generosity, known as dana in Pali, is considered the very first doorway we walk through on the spiritual journey. This isn't accidental, it reflects a deep truth about human nature and happiness. Generosity is not simply about giving away money or possessions, it is about offering ourselves. It includes the gift of time when we sit patiently with someone in pain, the gift of attention when we truly listen without judgment, and the gift of compassion when we extend understanding even when it's difficult. In today's world, where distractions are constant and people often feel isolated or unseen, these small acts of presence are deeply valuable. As we practice generosity, something profound begins to shift within us. We move from a mindset of scarcity to one of abundance. The Buddha taught, "If beings knew, as I know, the result of giving and sharing, they would not eat without having shared with others." This isn't just a moral teaching, it's a map to freedom from fear, anxiety, and loneliness. When we let go of clinging, whether to our money, our time, or our ego, we align ourselves with the natural flow of life, which is always moving, always giving, always changing. Generosity softens the heart, opens the mind, and strengthens the bonds between people. In practical terms, generous people are often more trusted, more loved, and more supported because they build goodwill that naturally flows back to them. It's like planting seeds. When we sow kindness without expectation, life returns it in ways we never imagined. One of the most beautiful teachings from the Anguttara Nikaya says, "If a person lives with a generous heart, their blessings will grow like a lake filling in the rainy season." Picture that. Each kind word, each helpful hand, each patient moment adds a drop, and slowly, steadily, a vast reservoir of blessings forms, quiet, deep, and life-sustaining. In modern life, we're often taught that wealth is what's in our bank accounts. But in Buddhism, true wealth lies in the heart, in the ease and joy of a person who gives freely, who doesn't have to protect or defend what they own, who can share without fear. And it's important to understand that generosity isn't about the amount, it's about the intention. A small act done with a pure heart is worth more than a large gift done for praise or recognition. As Zen master Shunryu Suzuki said, "A mind full of gratitude has no room for fear." Generosity nourishes gratitude, and gratitude makes us rich right here, right now. So whether you're supporting your community, mentoring someone younger, sharing your life experiences, or simply choosing to be kind when you could be cold, know that you are practicing dana. And through this practice, you are building a wealth that doesn't fade with time, that can't be stolen or spent, but only grows the more it is shared. Especially in the second half of life, when many of us start to reflect more deeply on what we've given and what we've become, generosity becomes not just a spiritual virtue, but a legacy. In a world often defined by getting, generosity reminds us of the joy of giving. So begin today, right where you are. Offer your attention to someone who feels unseen. Offer your help where it's needed, without expecting anything in return. Offer your forgiveness where there's been hurt. Each of these is a form of dana, and each one brings you closer to a kind of wealth that nourishes the soul, strengthens the community, and creates a more compassionate world for all of us. As His Holiness the Dalai Lama once said, generosity is the most natural outward expression of an inner attitude of compassion and loving kindness. And from that attitude, a truly meaningful life begins to unfold. Number 2, humility. And once we begin cultivating generosity, the next step on the path to true wealth is one that may seem quiet and unassuming, but it's incredibly powerful: humility. If generosity teaches us how to give, then humility teaches us how to grow. True humility is not about putting ourselves down or denying our worth. It's about recognizing that we are always in the process of learning, evolving, and discovering. A humble heart doesn't claim to have all the answers. It stays open, curious, and ready to learn from anyone, at any time. And in a world where everyone seems eager to prove themselves right, think about this. What would change in your life if you didn't always need to be right? Humility allows us to step back, breathe, and really listen. It helps us avoid unnecessary arguments and prideful reactions that often do more harm than good. How often have relationships been damaged, not because of what was said, but because of the refusal to listen with an open mind? In Buddhist teachings, the ego, that sense of me, mine, I know better, is one of the biggest barriers to peace. Ego divides, while humility unites. The more we cling to our self-importance, the more we suffer because life constantly challenges us. And if we're not flexible, we break. But when we let go of needing to be the smartest in the room, or the most admired, or the most successful, we actually create space within ourselves for something much greater: clarity, wisdom, and connection. The Dhammapada says, "The wise are like the earth. Whether you pour waste or perfume on it, the earth remains still and calm." That kind of steadiness, that quiet strength, comes from humility. Ask yourself, how do you respond when someone criticizes you? Do you shut down, get defensive, or attack back? Or can you pause, reflect, and even grow from it? Humility doesn't mean we become passive. It means we stop reacting from ego and start responding with awareness. It's what gives us the power to admit mistakes, to say, "I don't know," to apologize when we've hurt someone, and to let others shine without feeling diminished. And what's more, humble people tend to attract trust and respect, not because they demand it, but because they live it. In your own life, you've probably noticed how refreshing it is to be around someone who doesn't constantly talk about themselves, but who genuinely listens, learns, and values others. That's humility in action. In the workplace, it's the teammate who takes responsibility when things go wrong, instead of shifting blame. In family life, it's the parent who's willing to say, "I was wrong, and I'm sorry," teaching their child not just about right and wrong, but about being real. And in spiritual life, it's the student who bows to the teachings, knowing that the journey never ends. Think of humility as fertile soil. Without it, no wisdom can take root, no real compassion can grow, and no inner peace can blossom. So the next time you're tempted to interrupt or to prove a point just to feel superior, ask yourself gently, is this helping me understand others, or just feeding my ego? In conversations, can you slow down and listen fully, not just to respond, but to truly hear what the other person is trying to express? That's humility. Can you accept when life doesn't go your way without collapsing into self-pity or rage? That's humility. Can you appreciate your own efforts without needing constant praise or recognition? Again, that's humility. It teaches us that we are not the center of the universe, and yet we are deeply connected to it. And that quiet shift in perspective brings peace, because once we stop trying to prove our worth, we begin to live it. As His Holiness the Dalai Lama said, "A truly humble person is someone who is so secure in themselves that they don't need to prove anything to anyone." Humility gives us the strength to grow beyond the small self and walk more gently through this world. And so, I ask you, where in your life can you let humility guide you? What would it look like today, this week, to practice being open instead of opinionated, patient instead of prideful, teachable instead of always needing to teach? These are not small things. They are the foundations of a peaceful mind and meaningful relationships. So as you continue walking the path of true wealth, remember this: generosity opens the door, but humility keeps us grounded. It allows us to receive wisdom, to honor others, and to keep learning. When we carry humility in our heart, we move through life with greater ease and with far less suffering. We stop needing to impress and start connecting. We stop resisting change and start learning from it. And in doing so, we grow not just older, but wiser, more compassionate, and more free. The lesson is simple, but not always easy. Let go of ego, stay open, and keep growing. That is humility, and that is one of the greatest treasures we can ever hold. Now that you've reflected on the quiet strength of humility, we'd love to hear from you. In a world that often rewards loud opinions and ego, where in your life are you choosing to practice humility instead? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and if this message resonated with you, simply type "I choose humility" to affirm your commitment to growth, wisdom, and inner peace. Your journey may inspire someone else who's watching today. Number 3. Mindfulness, Sati. And now, as we've reflected on the power of generosity and the grounding wisdom of humility, we come to the third essential quality on the path to true wealth in Buddhism, mindfulness, or Sati in Pali. Mindfulness is often spoken about these days, especially in wellness circles. But in the Buddhist tradition, it's far more than a trendy practice. It's a way of being that touches every part of our lives. At its heart, mindfulness is about being fully present, right here, right now. It's the practice of paying attention to your thoughts, your feelings, your body, your actions, and your surroundings with clarity and without judgment. That may sound simple, but think about it for a moment. How often are you truly present? How many times in a day do you catch yourself running on autopilot, eating while scrolling your phone, speaking while already planning your response, walking while completely lost in thought? In those moments, we're not really living, we're just reacting. Mindfulness invites us to wake up, to come home to this moment, and to be conscious of what we're doing, saying, and even thinking. The Buddha once said, "Mindfulness is the path to the deathless. Forgetfulness is the path to death." It's a powerful reminder that when we live in forgetfulness, caught in past regrets or future worries, we miss the life that is happening right now. But when we're mindful, we are truly alive. And from this awareness comes a kind of inner wealth that no material success can match. When we are mindful, we make better decisions. We pause before reacting. We see more clearly what matters and what doesn't. We avoid many of the costly mistakes, emotional, financial, and relational, that come from acting without awareness. Think about the last time you said something in anger or made a rushed decision you regretted later. Would things have turned out differently if you had paused, taken a breath, and responded from awareness instead of impulse? This is the practical power of mindfulness. It protects us from the suffering we create through reactivity and gives us the space to choose wisely. And it's not just about avoiding mistakes. It also brings a deep calmness, especially in stressful situations. In the chaos of work, parenting, deadlines, and uncertainty, mindfulness becomes like a quiet inner anchor. It doesn't erase problems, but it gives us the steadiness to face them with presence instead of panic. You might ask, but how do I actually practice mindfulness? And the truth is, it begins with small steps. You can be mindful while drinking tea, fully tasting it, noticing its warmth. You can be mindful while speaking, really listening to the person in front of you, without preparing your response in your head. You can be mindful while walking, breathing, or even doing the dishes. Mindfulness isn't something we add to our day. It's how we choose to live our day. One breath, one step, one moment at a time. The more we practice, the more natural it becomes. And over time, it changes the way we relate to everything, including ourselves. Often, we carry a harsh inner critic, constantly judging our thoughts, our performance, even our worth. But mindfulness teaches us to observe with kindness, not condemnation. Instead of pushing away discomfort or clinging to pleasure, we learn to meet each moment as it is, without resistance. That's where peace begins. As Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh said, "The present moment is filled with joy and happiness. If you are attentive, you will see it." When we're mindful, we stop chasing happiness somewhere out there, and we begin to discover the joy already available here. We begin to taste a kind of contentment that no amount of money can buy. And isn't that what true wealth really is? To be able to sit with yourself in silence and feel at peace, to walk through your day with clarity, to speak with compassion, and to act with intention. So I ask you now, where in your life are you rushing through without presence? In what situations do you feel most disconnected from yourself? And how might things shift if, instead of reacting, you paused and paid attention? You don't have to retreat to a mountain or spend hours in meditation to practice mindfulness. You just need to return, again and again, to the moment you're in. And yes, your mind will wander. That's okay. The practice is not about perfection, it's about coming back. Every time you notice you've drifted and gently return to the present, you're training your mind to be more awake, more grounded, more alive. And the benefits ripple outward. Your relationships deepen, your stress lessens, your choices become wiser. In the end, mindfulness isn't just about self-awareness, it's about compassion. Because when we're truly present, we see others more clearly. We become more patient, more understanding, more kind. And that creates a more peaceful world, starting with the peace inside of you. So, as we reflect on these three great qualities, generosity, humility, and mindfulness, remember that they are not separate steps, but interwoven threads in a single path. Generosity opens the heart, humility grounds the mind, and mindfulness brings us fully into this life. Together, they lead to a form of wealth far deeper than material gain, a wealth of inner peace, wisdom, and freedom. So begin right now. Take a breath, notice it, and come home to this moment. That is mindfulness. That is true wealth. As we've seen today, lucky numbers aren't just symbols of fortune, they're reminders of deeper truths. To build a strong foundation, to trust the quiet path, to awaken with presence, and to grow through generosity, humility, and mindfulness. True wealth isn't only found in what we gain, but in how we live, how we give, and how awake we are to this moment. If this video brought you insight, encouragement, or simply a moment of peace, we invite you to support our journey. Please like, share, and subscribe to The Journey of Wisdom for more teachings that blend ancient truths with everyday life. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss our upcoming videos, especially as we explore more guidance and reflections for this powerful month ahead. Thank you for walking this path with us. May you be peaceful, may you be prosperous, and may you stay rooted in wisdom.